Welcome to the Swamps of Dominaria. Hope you're excited to dredge some stuff out of the swamp with Muldrotha. As far as our opening hand goes, this would be just an absolutely beautiful hand if we had one more blue source. Do we want to risk it? Exploration, we're not really going to be able to take advantage of that too quick. Yeah, let's go and mulligan. I really like Glimpse and Vault, but if we don't hit that black-blue source, we are really out of luck. And then we draw into two black-blue sources with Get Rog. Let's go one more go. Yeah, I like this. We have Seal of Doom, Satyr. Yes, I'll keep on this one. I like that a lot. And then we draw into Damnation. Yeah, let's go and put that on top. This is probably going to be a long game, and I do like having access to Damnation. But yes, welcome to the Swamps of Dominaria. Hope you're excited to get out there. Bring your children, play in the swamp. It's always a lot of fun. Let's go to get down Temple of Mount. Hey, Father, Father and Mother, look what I found. It's a rotted corpse. Oh. We'll turn that into a creature. There's an island on top. Yeah, we're going to put that on top. I don't mind that. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. It's a new attraction in Dominaria. It's kind of like Disney World. We're playing Jolt at the Gravetide. During each of your turns, you may play up to one permanent card of each permanent type from your graveyard. So basically, that's going to mean creature, lands, planeswalkers, anything that's a permanent that would go onto the battlefield. Let's go and get down Wooded Foothills. I was going to grab another green-black source off of this Wooded Foothills. Opponent's going to lead off with two islands, so maybe they're a little bit stuck on mana. Yeah, do we want to go for, is it black-blue or blue-green? Yeah, let's go for Tropical Island. We have Water Grave in the hand. We'll go for Tropical Island. Let's go for Satyr. And they'll tap out for green. That way we can get the graveyard going. Maybe we hit something like Life from the Loam off this flip. That'd be really nice. And then we can get our graveyard going from there. All right. We'll go and grab, at this point, we'll grab Catacombs. Yeah, I like that. And then we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. Playing against Rashmi, Eternity's Crafter. Whenever you cast your first spell each turn, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a non-land card with a converted mana cost less than that spell, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. If you don't cast the revealed card, put it into your hand. All right. The opponent will get down a Lightning Greaves, which is actually going to put us online for Seal of Doom. Let's go and get down Catacombs. Let's go and crack that one. Grab a, we do have another black-blue source in the hand. I'll actually go and grab another black-green. Let's go and grab Bayou. Let's go for Seal of Doom. There we go. Tapping out, and then anything else. We can go and swing in for one. Yeah, we're not above that. Let's go and swing in one. Satyr Wayfinder. Get that 30-turn clock established on our opponent. They're going to be just frantically trying to find some sort of answer for Satyr, and they'll go and pass the turn. Now, with us getting down Seal of Doom, that actually works out for us really well. If they go for Rashmi, we can actually activate Seal of Doom in response to that, in response to the Lightning Greaves activation. Let's go and do this. So let's go ahead and go for, let's get down Watery Grave, put it in a play tap, not going to pay 2 life. Let's go and swing in for 1. If they have some sort of flash creature, that's fine. We want to cast Satyr out of the graveyard again anyway, just to kind of get it moving. All right, swinging it for 1 is going to put our opponent down to 28, and then we'll go for the Tortured Existence, get that down, and that'll put us online for discarding some creature cards and bringing it back if we need to. All right. Let's go and get down Tortured Existence. We're going to leave up at least 1 blue mana off that, and then pass the turn to our opponent. Yeah, we covered both commanders' free time. We'll talk about where we went. As far as Muldrotha, I added some new cards to the deck. I did add Lord of Extinction. There's a lot of times where we end up with a really big graveyard, and, let's say we can go for something like Deranged Hermit, which is always fun. Enters the battlefield, return target creature to its owner's hand. Yeah, I'm fine with that. We can recast Satyr, and then we're not going to use the Seal of Doom on Rashmi just yet. All right, bounce it back to the hand. That's perfectly fine. We could discard it if we wanted to bring something back, but yeah, I think we're okay. Yeah, we're fine with the 2/2 beat stick coming across. But I did add Lord of Extinction. There's just some games to where our opponent has a cluttered board state. We have a cluttered board state. Swinging with a 2020 Lord of Extinction with Rancor on there. That's some good magic. It's going to allow you to really put some pressure on your opponent to go for some blocks that they normally wouldn't go for. And then anything else, yeah. We're actually online for Muldrotha, and I'll cover some of the other cards we have in here. Just some good kind of housekeeping cards. Let's go ahead and go for Satyr. That's going to be green, and then we'll go and tap out on Temple of Malady. Reveal the top 4 cards of our library. We'll grab a land out of there. At the main point, Kodama's Reach. Oh, there we go. Rancor and then Swift Foot Boots. So we're going to grab Polluted Delta. Let's go and go for Polluted Delta. Let's go for Lightning Greaves. That's going to be 1/2. I'm going to put the Lightning Greaves onto Satyr. I think that sounds pretty good. All right, put it on there. Like I said, this is Satyr Beat Sticks time. Swinging in for 1, put our opponent down to 27, and then we're going to go and pass turn to our opponent. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We will be online for Muldrotha next turn, and we do have Lightning Greaves, which is really important because it allows us to get down Muldrotha, and then we start going from there. We do have a bunch of fetch lands in the graveyard too, so we can start casting some of those to get some of our lands onto the battlefield. And then if things get a little bit too crazy, we still have Damnation in the hand. All right, opponent's going to get down Rashmi. Do we want to go for Seal of Doom? We'll see. Well, actually, let's do it this way. While we're in our attack step, let's go and go for Seal of Doom. That way, if they do have some sort of spell, we at least want to go ahead and force the issue or not give them any sort of value out of Rashmi. All right, opponent's going to be swinging it for 2. Now, that does put them on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they'll actually be able to go for Rashmi and get Lightning Greaves down next turn if we end up tapping out for Muldrotha. All right, let's go ahead and activate Polluted Delta. And let's go ahead and grab Breeding Pool. Have that come into play tap. Not going to pay 2 life, no. And then anything else, kick it back over to our turn. Ooh, drawn to Lord of Extinction. Okay, let's go and do this. Let's go and go for Muldrotha. Let's get down a Command Beacon. Let's go for Muldrotha, and we may go ahead and start swinging in. It's going to be green, blue, and then black, and then 1 and 2. Let's get down Muldrotha. Our opponent is tapped out, so they might have something like Remand, which they don't because they didn't go for it. So we'll get Swiftfoot Boots onto Muldrotha and start swinging across. They could bounce Muldrotha back to the hand if that's what they do have. Simic Charm, return. Yep, there we go. Simic Charm, bounce Muldrotha back to the hand. Okay. And then anything else. Well, like I said, we'll still swing with Satyr. He's being the. I love it when like good utility creatures all of a sudden become the aggressor in certain matches. All right, swinging for 1, put our opponent down to 26, and then we're going to go and pass the turn. Now, they only have 3 cards in the hand, 4 with the card draw for the turn. So we're probably looking at Rashmi this turn since we are tapped out, and that's going to allow them to get out from underneath the Seal of Doom before they can get protection for Rashmi. So at least that's going to be most of their turn with only 1 mana up. All right, opponent's going to be swinging in for 2, or 4, excuse me, putting us down to 19. But yeah, we're still going to, with them being tapped out, we're going to go for Muldrotha. That way we're online for Lord of Extinction. All right, let's go to get down Island. I guess technically we could go for Damnation if we really wanted to clear the board out. Is that what we want to do? I think that might be we're still online for Muldrotha the following turn. We have to watch out for a counterspell. That's going to really stop any sort of extra value from Rashmi. Let's go and swing it for 1. Yeah, I think we might end up going for that. Let's go and swing in for 1. That'll be them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then casting Rashmi again next turn and simply just passing. No, let's go for Muldrotha. I think I like that. Yeah, that's fine. That's just going to be delaying it a turn. Let's go for Muldrotha. We could have swung in with Muldrotha, but I was thinking about going for Damnation. But then the more I thought about it for that swing, I like getting down Muldrotha. So I was going to get Lightning Greaves onto Muldrotha. And then we still have Rancor to go for. Seal of Doom. Actually, we want to save Rancor for Lord of Extinction. Yeah, let's just go ahead and pass the turn to our opponent. If we wanted to, we can still go ahead and discard a card off Tortured Existence to bring something back to the hand. We can bring back Mancer if we want to. We only really have Kodama's Reach as a spell out of the graveyard. So whenever it enters the battlefield, you cast a Spirit or Arcane spell, you may return to its owner's hand. Okay, we're going to go get that down. We'll see if our opponent's going to bounce that back to their hand. And then Divination popped up too, so they're going to be able to draw some cards off that. Actually, excuse me, that's going to go into the hand. All right, there we go. So as far as next turn goes, we do have Lord of Extinction. We can get that down, put Lightning Greaves on it, and grab Rancor out of the graveyard. It's going to end up making it about a 14-12 coming across, and that's going to put our opponent to have something to kind of bounce it back. I'm just going to cross that island off, and then we're going to cross the forest off too. All right, probably anything else. Do we want to discard Tie Game at this point? Bring back Mancer. Now, I'm just going to hold on to Tie Game at this point. I'm fine with it. That way we can at least cast it out of the hand if we need to, not really get rid of a creature card out of the graveyard. Drawn to Eternal Witness. Okay. Let's do this. Let's go and go for Polluted Delta. Let's go and crack Polluted Delta. Let's go and grab Underground Sea. Let's go for Lord of Extinction. Actually, let's leave up Command Beacon. And then tap, make sure we leave up at least 1 green. All right, get down Lord of Extinction. I'm just going to go for Rancor on Lord of Extinction. That will make it a 14-12. All right. Tap up for 1 green. And then we'll shift those Lightning Greaves over there. We've already got our big creature on the battlefield at this point, so if they do have some sort of bounce spell on Muldrotha or Lord, that's perfectly fine. All right, and the Swiftfoot Boots, we can still cast that on the back end. All right, let's go and swing with the crew. That's going to be 6 coming across and 13, so we're looking at 19 coming across. But yeah, Lord of Extinction and Rancor is the new addition to the deck, and you can see how well that kind of performs. And let's see if our opponent ate the Rise. All right, that's going to be, let's see what they reveal off of that. It's going to be another island. Then return all attacking creatures back to their owner's hand. All right, it's going to send everybody back, and then we'll get Rancor back into the hand too. Let's do this. Anything for 2. Let's go ahead and we can put Lightning Greaves onto Satyr. I think that'll be good. And then we're going to go and pass the turn. All right. Now, to go for a little bit of reset, we might end up going for Damnation next turn. We'll see what our opponent's going to roll out this turn. They're going to have a lot of mana open, and then I don't think they've gone for Divination yet to draw those 2 cards. So we'll see if they rip into or cast out, but at least it's going to put us online for Damnation. Now, we can also get down tie game and get into this position to where we start exiling some of our cards out of our hand, start catching some of their creatures, especially if they get Fathom Mage out there drawing a bunch of cards. Something we definitely want to watch out for. But if this is going to be the turn where they simply just dump their hand, I like following it up with Damnation and kind of going from there. That will put us at 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll have 4 extra mana left over. We'll be online for Eternal Witness on something. At this point right now, let's go and throw Satyr in front of Rashmi. We are at 18, but at this point, I kind of like Satyr coming out of the graveyard more than I do swinging in. So to all these Satyr Wayfinder Beatstick fans, I do apologize. All right, we're drawn to Seal of Primordium. Let's do this. Let's go and go for, I like going for Damnation. Let's force this first. Let's go for Seal of Primordium. See if this doesn't draw out some sort of counter spell from our opponent. Let's go and crack Seal on Lightning Greaves. And then let's go and go for Damnation. It's going to be 1 black, 1 blue. I'll leave up 1 black mana for the Tortured Existence activation. All right, they do have 6 cards in the hand. We'll see if they have some sort of counter spell. All right, they do not. And then anything else for 2. Now we're going to go and pass turn to our opponent. Okay, so we did get rid of Silk Lash Spider. Also got rid of Fathom Mage to get rid of that card draw. We'll go and cross those off, and our opponent did finally go for the card draw off that. Going to go for Tri-Belter. So that puts us on next turn. We're at 20 cards in the graveyard total. So we're definitely online for going for a Lord of Extinction, getting some good value off of that. And we might end up just swinging our opponent to see if they got anything to stop a Lord from swinging in. Let's go and do that. Let's go for Simic Signet first. It's going to be 1, 2. Get the Signet down. Let's go for Lord of Extinction. It's going to be 1, 2. Tap out for black. Let's go and go for Rancor on Lord of Extinction. Let's go and shift the Lightning Greaves on there. All right, there we go. So we're looking at 23 coming across it. We'll put our opponent down to just 2 lives. So let's see if they have another Aetherized style effect. Swinging it for 23. Oh, it feels good to go. Lord of Extinction beat sticks. All right, put our opponent down to 2. And then anything else, we're going to pass turn to our opponent. All right. One thing that I would be interested in putting in this deck is something like Torment of Hellfire. Opponent's going to draw 4 cards, discard a card. Okay, see if they can find some sort of answer. But yeah, having some sort of finisher to where you can close, you're getting a lot of lands on the battlefield. You have a lot of artifacts too. You can get some really good ramp going. So running something like Torment of Hellfire or Exsanguinate, in addition to Eternal Witness, is going to allow us to kind of close the game out. See if our opponent threw something up in the chat. All right. Didn't get to see what they said, but I would assume they said good game or something like that. So good game to our opponent. Definitely see how you can get it done with Lord of Extinction and Rancor on there. Not even having Muldrotha on the battlefield, simply just swinging across with the 25 with Trample is more than enough to go and close it out. But as far as the cards I did add, it was Lord of Extinction, Rancor got added to the deck. I also added Animate Dead. I didn't have Animate Dead in there. That's just one of those, just you get down Muldrotha, 2 mana enchantment, a lot of value off of that. And I also added Tortured Existence to the deck, which you can see right here. Discard a creature card, return target creature card from your hand. It's basically going to keep your hand flowing, keep your graveyard flowing. There may be certain scenarios to where we want to get Mancer down, start bringing some of that stuff back, or making our land drop with Eternal Witness. It's just going to help. Tortured Existence basically kind of helps us keep that graveyard cycle, hand cycle complete as we start filtering through cards in our hand. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Welcome to the Swamps of Dominaria. As far as opening hand goes, yeah, I like it a lot. We'll keep on this one. We have the Sultai color base of basic lands in here. And then we also have Growing Rights of Itlimoc to dig a little bit deeper for an extra land. Let's go and lead off with Swamp. Let's go for Tortured Existence. Yeah, I think that sounds good. And then anything else, we're going to pass turn to our opponent. But yes, welcome to the Swamps of Dominaria. Hope you're ready to go dredge that swamp with Muldrotha. See what sort of nasty creatures we can bring back to show off to our opponents. We're playing Muldrotha the Gravetide. During each of your turns, you may play up to 1 permanent card of each permanent type from your graveyard. Opponent's going to get on Miri's Guile, allowing them to kind of start filtering some of their card draw. I was going to go for Scalding Tarn, and then anything else. Now we're going to pass turn to our opponent. Got some Golgari partner action. It's actually pretty interesting to see that. Playing against Reyhan, last of the Abzan. Whenever Reyhan enters the battlefield with 3/+1 counters on it. Then whenever a creature you control dies or is put into the command zone, if it had 1 or more +1 counters on it, you may put that many +1 counters on target creature. And I'll cover Ikra here in a second. Ikra? I think that sounds good. Let's go and crack Scalding Tarn. Let's go and grab a... we're looking at black blue off of that. I'd like to get another green source, if possible, on breeding pool. Yeah, let's go and grab breeding pool. I think green-blue would... Yeah, we're not going to pay 2 life on that one. Okay, see what we're drawn to. Drawn to Merciless Executioner. Let's go and get Island down. Let's go and go for Growing Rights of Itlamok. I'd like to dig for another black source. That'd be pretty good. To get down Growing Rights, look at the top 4 cards of our library. We are running about 30 creatures in here, so definitely online for either creature or land out of this mix. Excuse me, but the Growing Rights of Itlamok is creature from them. We're going to be taking it. I thought it was land for some reason. Let's go and grab Eternal Witness. That way we can at least grab back... all right, we're going to put those on the bottom in any order, and then anything else we're going to pass the turn. We can at least Eternal Witness once we get down the forest, bring back that Scalding Tarn to grab another black source, and then we'll still be online for Buried Alive to kind of grab whatever we want to go for with that. We're also playing against Ikra, the Usurper. It's going to be Menace, and whatever creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you gain life equal to that creature's toughness. Opponent's going to go for a Myriad Guile's activation. If you've not seen Muldrotha, this is pretty much Soul-Tide Graveyard. What we're looking to do is get that graveyard going, and then get into Muldrotha and really start taking advantage of the graveyard being our second hand. So it's pretty fun. All right, drawn to Deed. Let's do this. Let's go and go for... Yeah, I kind of like going for that. Let's go and go for Eternal Witness. Actually, let's get the land drop down first. That'll help. Or if we want to, we can simply just flashback to get rid of Reyhan. Let's do that. Yeah, let's go for a little bit of a slower game. Let's go for that. Let's go for Merciless Execution. Let's keep Reyhan off the battlefield. We want to keep those +1 counters away. We're going to sacrifice Merciless Execution. Our opponent's going to sacrifice Reyhan, and that'll send it back to the command zone. Anything else, we're going to pass the turn. And the next turn, we'll be online for Eternal Witness, bringing that back, and we can start going from there. Now, the fun thing with Tortured Existence is discard a creature card. That's going to work well with Muldrotha. That's still going to allow us to cast that card. We can also return a situational card, creature card, back to our hand. So let's say that we really want to keep bringing back Scalding Tarn or something like that. We can keep bringing back Eternal Witness somehow out of the graveyard. Opponent's going to go for Excavator, play lands from the graveyard, so that we'll play that Misty and crack that and go and get down a Bayou. See what else they're going to go for? Duress. So at this point right now, the only thing that really could take was going to be Buried Alive. That's going to be the most impact for them to take right now because we have to jump through some hoops to get that with Eternal Witness. But it's still a good card. You definitely want to run some non-permanent cards in Muldrotha just because they're so good sometimes. All right. Drawn to Snapcaster Mage, which is actually going to allow us to go for Buried Alive, so that's pretty good. Let's go for the land drop for the turn. Let's go for Eternal Witness. Let's go and tap out for 1 island. Let's go and bring back Scalding Tarn to the hand. Yes, we're going to use that ability. I'm just going to get down Scalding Tarn, and then anything for 2. Now, we're going to simply just going to go and pass turn our opponent. Now, if they do swing in with the Excavator, that is a 2-3 coming across. We still might end up chump blocking with the Eternal Witness just to get it back, because that does put us online for Tortured Existence and bringing back Scalding Tarn to make sure that we do have the land drop. Now, it is a little clunky next turn with us completely tapping out. We could risk it to... see if we rip into a land, but I really want to make sure we hit our 6th land drop, so I'm okay with this particular line of play. All right, opponent's going to be swinging it for 2. Let's go and throw Eternal Witness in front of that. There we go. Going to chump block. And opponent's... Ooh. Oh. That is brutal. All right, so we have Pernicious Deed. We can definitely take care of Scavenging Ooze with that. Yeah, we're going to go for that. We'll go for Deed next turn. Ugh, nasty. All right, let's go and crack Scalding Tarn. Let's go put them at 3 total mana. So they can start exiling some stuff in response to them. Let's go and grab another black source. Let's go and grab that. Let's grab Watery Grave. Have that come into play. Not going to pay 2 life. And then we're not actually... I was going to discard a card off Tortured Existence, but with Scavenging Ooze out there, Graveyard Bully, we're not going to go for that. We'll go for Deed, though. That'll be good. All right, let's go for Deed. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. Now, we will end up losing Tortured Existence, which is unfortunate, but got to take care of Scavenging Ooze when we can. All right, click for 2. That will take care of Mirri's Guile too, and take care of Scavenging Ooze. So we'll probably see some activations from our opponent, more than likely exiling Deed, because once Deed gets into the graveyard, and if they don't deal with it, it's just, it's absolutely brutal for our opponent. See what else they're going to exile before they go. Now, if they do end up, they're going to have to leave, they're going to have 2 mana, so they're going to leave at least a couple more cards in the graveyard. Exile Merciless Executioner, okay. Now, we still have Flesh Bag, which is not too bad. All right, they do leave Deed in the hand. All right, anything else, we're going to go and pass turn to our opponent. Now, unfortunately, we are sitting at 5 total mana, so next turn, if we do hit the land drop, we might end up going for a Muldrotha. We'll see what's going to happen. Our opponent is sitting at 6 cards in the hand, so it looks like they still got some action left, too. But we'll see how they kind of shake the turn out and see if they, get down Reyhan or something like that. But yeah, as far as your Muldrotha build, it's always good to run a good mix of permanents. This is a little bit more heavy creature focused, simply for the reason of we did see Scavenging Ooze, and so if you're like all-in Planeswalkers or something like that, it makes it a little bit hard for Muldrotha to really kind of take advantage of her. So you want to run some Oh, and also, excuse me, the point I was trying to make with Scavenging Ooze is that they can start to exile some of that stuff out of your graveyard. So simply just having a good mix of enter the battlefield creatures is kind of what we're going for with Muldrotha. All right, we draw into Sanctum. That is the lane drop for the turn. Let's go ahead and get that down. And do we want to go for Lord of Extinction? Or do we want to do a little bit of board control and Flashback Marauder? Now let's do that. Let's go for Lord of Extinction. I like that. It's going to be an 8/8 out there. If we can slowly start pushing in our opponent. We do have Rancor in the deck. In fact, Lord of Extinction, this is new since I've recorded the series. In fact, I'll go and talk about that. So I did add Lord of Extinction simply because it's an easy 5-mana creature to cast. And we also have Rancor. I added Rancor to the deck. So it's kind of like a, not necessarily combo, but, you know, get down Lord of Extinction, throw Rancor on there. It's going to give it trample. And then you can really start going from there. Opponent's going to go for an Eldritch Evolution trigger. Cast off of that Custodial Lich. You become the Monarch, and then we're going to have to sacrifice a creature. So that will be Lord of Extinction. There we go. All right. Take care of Lord of Extinction. Looks like we're playing against kind of green-black rock, which is typically fun to play against in Commander like that. Got the Wolf swinging in for 2. It's going to put us down to 24. And the next turn, we'll go for Muldrotha. All right, drawn to Manglehorn. No artifacts out there at this point. Let's go and go for Muldrotha. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. Tap out for Sultai colors, and then 1, 2, and 3. We'll still be able to make the Scalding Tarn lane play out of the graveyard, and we'll still be able to go for Tortured Existence too. Let's go and get that going. Let's go and crack Scalding Tarn. We still have the... see what our opponent's going to go for in response to that. Victim of Night. Okay, it's going to take care of Muldrotha. Send her back to the command zone. Let's go and grab Underground Sea, and then anything else. We're going to go and pass it under our opponent. Now, that does kind of complicate it just a little bit. That does shoot Muldrotha back up, but thankfully we did get a land drop out of the graveyard, so if we do hit another land, we can go and get that down. Pretty much at this point, we're going to try and force our opponent to have some sort of spot removal. So we're going to try and get down Muldrotha as quickly as possible. We can get D down, simply sacrifice it for 0 to take care of some of these tokens onto the battlefield. And with our opponent's creature sitting at about 5 converted mana cost, that's going to leave Muldrotha on the battlefield if we do end up getting D going. So let's see what else we're going to tap out for. It's going to be 3 total mana, and they're going to go for Grim Tutor. Which more than likely will be another source of spot removal. But, like I said, we're going to go and force the issue of getting down Muldrotha if we hit the lane drop. Drawn to 3 visits. Okay, let's go and do this. Let's go for 3 visits. It's going to be 1, 2. Tap out for blue and then green. Let's go and grab Tropical Island. Let's do this. Let's go and go for Snapcaster Mage. Yeah, I like that. Let's go Snapcaster Mage, and we can go for Buried Alive if we wanted to get a few more creatures going. But I think at this point, I'd really like to get some ramp going. So we might end up going for 3 visits again. Yeah, let's do that. Let's cast 3 visits. It's going to be green and then tap out on Underground Sea. Let's go and grab Bayou. Have that come into play untapped. And there's no artifacts out there. Do we want to just cast Manglehorn on an empty board simply just to have some sort of blocker? We can trade with the Custodial Lich. Yeah, let's do this. Not Custodial. The Janitor Lich over there. Yeah, let's go and get down Manglehorn. I just want to have a few more creatures on the battlefield. And then anything else, we're going to go past turn our opponent. Okay, we do have 1, 2. Let's go and kick it over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're looking at 9 total mana. So it's going to be more than enough for Muldrotha next turn. And then we still have Snapcaster Mage to trade on one of these. And with Ikra, deals combat damage, they're going to gain life. So, you know, it's not the end of the world that they're gaining a ton of life. Let's go and trade on one of these wolf tokens. And then we'll kick it back over there. All right, they're going to gain that life. We go back up to 8, or we go down to 8, excuse me. Our opponent goes up to 40 off of that life gain. And they do get out coffers, so they're definitely online for a ton of mana. But we'll see if we can get out from underneath this. But that is one of the downsides to Muldrotha. You are playing a graveyard deck. You are going to run into stuff like Scavenging Ooze and spot removal. But when the stars align for Muldrotha, it makes for a really fun gameplay experience. Drawn to Izzet Signet. Yeah, let's go and go for it. We'll go for Muldrotha. It's going to be 1, 2. Let's tap out for blue, and then tap out for black. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, let's do it this way. Let's get down the Simic Signet. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, either way, they're going to have more than enough lethal coming across. Now that I think about it, I guess technically it doesn't even matter. We get down Muldrotha, they have some sort of spot removal on the hand, and they swing across. Yeah, good game. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to scoop it up on this one. But you can see, you know, getting down Scavenging Ooze, that kind of tied up our resources. We had to deal with Scavenging Ooze instead of getting on Muldrotha. But our opponent's going to get it on that one with some Golgari partner action. So it's always kind of cool to see same colored partners. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.